the thing that I will, again, just like on Monday, I will appreciate all of you for making me be here and showing up, getting my camera on, things like that, because I am a very organized person and I'm a real rule follower. I'm very type A. So if somebody says you need to get on camera and you need to get your ass going, then I show up. And so I appreciate that accountability from every one of you. I just want to also say that I had another referral and it from my sphere and also the professional world. And so I'm also feeling very, very humbled by that. The fact that I'm still so new and people believe in me, just it lights a fire under me and makes me want to do right by so many people. So welcome, team.
Awesome. Thank you. It looks like Elias is back, so we will officially pass the meeting back over to you.
You guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was running a little bit behind, but actually a little bit ahead of what I thought I was going to be late. But that's why I have great people around me. But Mara, I only heard the tail end of that. And the fact that people believe in you is because you are walking in your purpose. They're seeing you, you're showing up, you're not fronting, you're not lying, you're doing the things like people see us, you guys, and they feel our frequency and they feel our energy. And we're going to talk a lot about frequency and energy and manifestation. Like, listen, you guys, each of you have a frequency. Each of you have a vibration. And that is felt by other people. When you're scared, when you're timid, when you're not sure, when you're doubtful, all that type of energy is on your frequency. People feel that. I feel that when an agent tells me something. If they're on it and they're doing the activities and they're showing up and they're proud of themselves, they're like, oh, look at this email, look at this, and look at this. And I saw you on social media and I did a video, like I could feel it. But when someone's like, oh yeah, Elias, yeah, I'm gonna get back into doing things. When the fuck did you get off of doing things? Right? Like stay in motion. So Mara, I only heard a little bit of that, but I think that I got your messaging. So are we doing wins and takeaways? Is that where we're at, Ashley?
Mara was just opening up the call and taking us out on the field.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. I love this. I love this. So let's do this. I want to go around the room. I want to get one personal thing. No, two, excuse me. I want to get one personal thing that when you look at your life right now, that you are beyond grateful for. And here's what I don't want you to share. We know you're grateful for your family. We know you're grateful for your husband or your wife. I get that. But tell us a little bit further. What is something that you're truly grateful for? It could be a skill that you have. It could be an opportunity that you have created for yourself. Past your friends and your family, I want you to tell me something that you're really, really thankful for and grateful for this time of year. So I'm going to go to three people. That person first up is going to be Carlos Rodriguez. Okay, you're up first. And then we'll go to Stephanie because she loves when I put her on the spot. Then we're going to go to KD. So let's go, Carlos. Being the month of thankfulness, my friend, what are you thankful for this year other than your friends and your family? Let's go.
Perfect. Thank you for this platform. Good morning, everybody. I think the very first thing that came to my mind was flexibility. I'm definitely grateful that my job right now, my primary job, offers me some kind of like flexibility right now, especially just because, I'm new to real estate. I'm jumping into this new endeavor of trying to, start my new business, start this whole real estate stuff. So definitely being flexible and my other job being well staffed enough to be able to just kind of like do my own thing. I've been doing that job for quite a bit of time now. And now that I have the opportunity to do something else, definitely super grateful for that.
Carlos, since starting in real estate, what's one thing that you've realized about yourself? Maybe something that you've unlocked within yourself, didn't really even know it was there potentially. Like, what's one thing that you've realized about yourself in the last couple of months?
That I can do it, that, that it's going to take some time, but with consistency and effort that, I'm going to be able to do it. I have everything that I've put myself up to do. I've done so far. All of my accomplishments that I've done so far has been because of me. So this is just going to be another one of those like next steps that I have to do for my life. So pretty excited.
And you know what? I so connect with this, and I feel it in your words. My old mentor used to tell me, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And he would
100%.
tell me that over and over and over again. And it was the smallest of things. His name was Tim McGowan. God, I'll always remember that. So Carlos, right on point, man. Let's go over to, who did I say was next? Stephanie and then KD. Stephanie, one thing you're super thankful for that is not the family. Let's go.
So this is a tough one because it's hard to choose just one.
Okay, tell us many then.
Okay, so I'm just thankful to be here, to have another day at life, you know. I think every day we truly take it for granted. I think I shared, my best friend got breast cancer when we were in our late 20s, and that totally changed the way I look at life. Because I realized, like, anything can change at any moment for any of us, right? So every day is literally a blessing. Like, you never know when your clock is up. You know, you never know when it's your time and or if you get sick. So just being able to live my life, and I'm so thankful for my career and the flexibility, like Carlos just said. You know, somebody very close to me, my brother was going through a very hard time, and I was able to just hop on a plane and go to him. And I spent a week there. I have my strong team behind me. My business, you know, stayed on track, didn't skip a beat. And there I was, helping my brother, helping my clients. And I think I broke a record last month for myself, a personal record. And
Let's go.
I'm like, I'm not sure, but I think I did. And all of this while I was caring for my family. And, you know, that's what this type of business does for us, right? Because we have that flexibility. And ever since my kids were little, I've always been there. I've been at every school event. I've ran my household, and I'm just so thankful to be in this business because not only do we have the flexibility, but we're helping people. We're changing lives. You know, we're helping people create generational wealth. And I'm so grateful to be in that position.
Definitely. I absolutely love this for you, and congratulations on a record-breaking month for you. But I want to take us back to what she said early in the conversation. Like, you guys, tomorrow's not promised for any of us, right? And unfortunately, there's people on this call. I can look around. We've experienced loss. Even in this year, we've experienced loss. And so I want to take you back to that quote that I shared last week, because it's really been resonating with me, that stop being arrogant, right? Procrastination is your arrogant assumption that the universe owes you more time and another day to do the things that you had time to do today. Don't be fucking arrogant about it, right? Oh, no, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Really? Like, all we have is right now. And like, that keeps on ringing in my head. The arrogant assumption that the universe owes you another day. The arrogant assumption that the universe owes us another day. So Stephanie, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you, my friend, for sharing and contributing as always. Let's go to KD, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation.
Good morning, everyone. So one of the things I wanted to say was very relating to what Stephanie already said. So I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to be resilience. So there has been time, you know, this is the business of real estate. You know, there are good days, there are great days, and there are bad days, like, and it's part of it. So just bouncing back from those, there have been some days I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm just like laying on my bed, not doing anything. Then when there are good days, we're like, okay, let me go out there, put the best foot forward and, like, you know, get that check and, like, you know, help our clients and stuff. So I've been just sitting at home and also like watching a lot of motivational videos that can help me like bounce back and come to realization, like, hey, we have to, like, you know, go out there and like actually put the work in. And one of the quotes I listened from the videos I've watched was, I think the guy's name was Carlton Dennis, probably. So he said, when you're born, you look like your parents. When you die, you look like your decisions. So, which is very, very strong. And it's just a realization, like, you know, when you go back to these things, you don't realize like these words are out there. But when you listen from someone who is very, very, who has done things, this makes you realize, like, okay, we can also make it happen. And then that quote is very close that I heard, I think, in the past day or two.
Wow. Can you say that quote one more time?
When you're born, you look like your parents. When you die, you look like your decisions.
That's really, really powerful. So I appreciate that, man. Really, really good stuff. And I'm glad that you're finding things that not only motivate you, but past that, so where do I find that resilience within myself? How can I display that? How can I tap into that side of me? And so we all have the days, you guys, where we just maybe don't want to do that much. We want to sit in bed. I get that. It happens to me as well. But finding that resilience in us to say, you know what, I must do this. Because listen, you guys, our life is going to pass us by in a blink of an eye. It's going to pass us by in a blink of an eye. So, Katie, I appreciate that. So, you guys, we're going to go into the conversation about the market. But before we do so, I want to go over to Gary. So, Gary, we've been seeing this, and I guess we need a little bit more context. Obviously, there's some billboards up in the Bay Area. You and Otis and quoting E40, I thought it was really, really cool. But there's a billboard of you and Otis in Times Square. And so I don't know what's on that billboard. I don't know what that process was like. I don't know how you guys got on there. So I don't know if you guys want to know, but if you don't want to know, it's okay, because I'm curious. We're going to do it anyways. I just want to know, Gary, like, what led to that? How did you get that? Tell us a little bit about that, bro, because we're seeing it on social media, but I don't think we have the context.
Well, I don't, some of you may know, may not know. I'm in real estate now. I come from the entertainment business, education business, and I'm into marketing, promotions, guerrilla style, bunch of stuff. I want to say about a year and a half ago, I was trying to figure this game out, the billboard game out, because I seen someone that had one, and I hit them, and they were telling me I had to go through them. I'm the type of guy to be like, I'll go through you this time, but teach me, right? And they're like, I guess, sometimes, people, whatever the case is, they didn't teach me. So I looked up, and I had this artist I work with that lives in Australia. It's this guy named Sora, and he works for an advertising company. He does music. So as I play his music on my show, I call him and say, hey, what's up with your advertising company? Like, what do you guys do? He says, we do hard billboards, digital billboards. I said, yeah, digital billboards, where at? He said, all over the world. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, we have a dashboard. Here, G, I'll send you my dashboard right now. You could pick the billboards. You make the design. You upload the design. Once they're approved, you pay for it, and it's a wrap. So it's that simple. Anywhere in the world, Elias, probably takes 24 hours to get approval, and then you're off and running.
Man, I love it.
My whole concept behind that is a lot of people do billboards, and what they do is they run through their money too fast. And what I mean by that is they're going to pick a billboard, and they're going to say, I want this billboard for the next 3 days. So what that's going to do is 24 hours a day at $100 an hour. So now you're $2,400 a day running that billboard. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you hand pick billboards at different times, different days? So now it looks like your billboard's up every day, everywhere, when really it's in this city this day, that city that day, this city that day, where it just compounds. So that was our idea. But yeah.
Okay, I get that. So I'm going to turn it over to Mel. Mel, you had a couple questions. Let's hit them. she's thinking. Her wheels are turning. Let's go.
Listen, there's not enough time on this call for the amount of questions that I actually have for Gary, but so he's got some sort of like a hookup with this dashboard, and that's all over the United States. And is it like a secret? Is it like exclusive? Like you got to know somebody, or you can just Google this shit and find it?
So I'm sure there's ways out there. I looked up because my friend that works at the company gave me his dashboard. So not only do I have his dashboard, I get his prices. So there are companies like he told me I should start a company. Gary, people use this information. They start companies, and that's what they do. And they pay for their families off just middleman in this digital billboard game. So he told me, Gary, that's yours. If you want to share, you share. You want to help people, you help people. But there are many companies that do this. I just think the company I found is the most efficient.
Still more questions.
I'm willing to, so let me just throw this to everyone. I'm willing to help anyone set something up, do something up. I'll do it. I'll do the whole hype. You just got to take care of my time, and we'll figure it out. But like, I want to help anyone that wants to help themselves. So let's start with what we're trying to do, and let's figure out how we could do it.
So what's
Love
the
it.
cost for this, Gary?
Well, every billboard's different depending on the traffic on the billboard. But anywhere from, depending on the billboard, anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour.
Okay, got it.
Well, wow, really cool.
Very feasible. Very feasible.
Yeah, and nonetheless, it's exciting for you to see you taking bold moves, right? Sometimes we gotta pay to play. We gotta pay for opportunities to be paid in opportunities, and that's been ringing in my head over the last couple of weeks. And so let's do this, you guys. We're gonna pause for a quick second. I need to get 3 to 5 people to share with me their vantage point of the market, what they're experiencing, nuances, patterns, conditions of the market right now. It's important that we have this conversation. I'm going to start out with our lender partners. Ashley, I'm going to go to you really quick, and then I'm going to pick 5 people. It's going to be random people. So don't go too far. Don't be putting your cameras off, all right? I'm going to call on 5 people, 3 to 5 people to share with me their vantage point of the market. But Ashley, what are you guys experiencing on your end? Rates, what's happening, dream for all the things that are happening in the market. So let's go.
There is so many things happening. Okay, so rates overall are still trending down. If you guys remember, at one point we we're in the 8s. Now we are in the 6s, sometimes 5s, FHA. Today, a jobs report came out. It's the ADP report, which isn't taken super seriously, but it's the only jobs report we have because of the government shutdown. And it showed a little baby growth in jobs, which made rates pop up just a little bit. So that's kind of the nuances. California Dream for All, if you have anyone shopping below where they need to be, let's say they have a $300,000 pre-approval and they need to be at 450, we need to start getting them in line now. This usually starts opening up in March, but there's a really long line and it's a lottery system. Last year, 1 out of 29 got picked. So we really need to start getting these people ready now. So if you're like, okay, I've been shopping with this person, they're a little bit out of their depth in their pre-approval amount, send them over to us because we'll put them on a list and get them ready for the California Dream for All, because that could be basically their lotto winning ticket to get into the price range that they want to get to. And then as far as overall in the market, what I'm seeing, it's hit or miss. I have 3 offers in right now. Buyers are still being a little bit more like savage with their offers. Like they're going like way under, but sellers are starting to kind of draw a line, I feel like. So I feel like the negotiations are taking a little bit longer. So I'm interested to hear your guys' feedback to see what you're seeing with boots on the ground.
Good stuff. So let me make sure. What's the question to the agents? Because I want somebody to answer that directly. Ask the question again.
When you're in negotiations, when you're putting offers in, what are you seeing? How are your buyers acting? And then how are you seeing the listing agents reacting? And if you're a listing agent, I want your vantage point as well.
All right, cool. Who's going to answer that question? You guys have, obviously a direct line. You guys can answer this question. Who's got an answer for Ashley? Anybody want to contribute? Use the react button down below because I might miss this. So use the react button down below. Blessing, what do you got?
I have a number of buyers that had been on the bench for a really long time. And I think a lot of the messaging that they heard about, like, just put the offer in, and I'm guilty of it, of just shoot your shot, just write the offer so we can at least get in front of the property, like get off the sidelines. I think some of them have taken that to that super lowball investor level. So I do have one buyer right now that's shopping out in the Stockton area that, regardless of what the list price is, he wants to go 75K under, period. And it's taken a lot of education of like what the market is actually doing. It does fluctuate. This blanket 75 under, if that's where you want to end up, then we need to shift the, I thought I was like being smart and educating him and shifting the price points that we were looking at. And it was a blanket 75 off, period. So that education with him is what I'm seeing. And then I have another buyer as well where they just want a deal, but they want to just go low just to see. So I'm seeing a lot of that. And of course, with the one who wants to go 75 under, listing agents are like, are you serious? And I'm like, it's on paper, counter me. Like, let's start this dialogue. It's been 90 days. Like, this is in front of you. Like, let's try to work and create something. But yeah, it's just a lot of what do we do? And I don't know if it's just the nerves or kind of still testing the water. But that's kind of where I'm at with my buyers right now, where we're just doing a little bit of back and forth.
It's good stuff, Blessing. Really good question, Ashley. Let's go over to DJ Oaf McGoaf. What do you got for us, big dog? Take yourself off of mute. Let's go.
Stupid. You say DJ go for, okay, whatever. So I've seen an uptick with buyers. I have been reached out to, hey, I think I'm ready. Same with Blessing. They are a little more aggressive. So if the property is showing 500,000, they're like, do you think they'll go for 450? I'm like, And it is sometimes education. I think there's a lot of hearsay. So buyers are like, my uncle's saying this, my uncle, da, 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 and I should really try. And I said, you can really try. You'll get 2 tries with me, but we are going to go data based. And if that doesn't work for you, then I'm probably not going to be the realtor, because that's going to, you're just doing all, you're submitting an offer and you're like, this is, we're wasting time. So I'm very upfront with them too. Agents on the other side, they are kind of desperate, at least in Solano County. They're like, just submit the offer. Yes, just submit the offer. But then they're also burnt out too. They're like, okay, we're countering back. I know seller doesn't want to pay this. Sellers are also still not willing to pay a buyer's broker fee in some cases. So it's been a little interesting, but I will say that buyers are a little more favored right now. And the entry level, I guess you could say, those homes are going up pretty quick too. So
Good stuff and good stuff, Oaf. Let's go to Lisa, and then we'll go Wanda. And I don't know when I came up with the Oaf McGoaf, but it stuck for me, and so I'm just going to run with that, Ophelia. Let's go, Lisa Torres.
How's it going, guys? So I have been feeling this for a long time, and I still feel like buyers and sellers are just at polar opposite ends. Buyers think it's 2008 and sellers think it's 2021. So right now it's been like the most challenging year that I have felt to bring them to a middle ground, and help them both understand, like, no, you're not getting this for 50% off. And no, you're not going to get an extra $100,000 on the house that you bought last year. It's not going to happen. So it's just, it's a lot of frustrating conversations right now, that I'm seeing with both sides. And as buyers agents and sellers agents, we see and we know, and we're trying to explain these things to our buyers and sellers. But it's, I'm seeing more just after a series of losses on either side, then they're willing to negotiate and be a little bit more reasonable.
And despite that, still having record-breaking year in production for yourself, and so still fighting through the big challenges and the tough clients, but still making it happen.
Yeah, people still need to move, and it's happening. It's just taking a lot more negotiation and education and just showing them all the numbers. Yeah, it's very much possible.
Really good contribution, Lisa. Let's go to Wanda, and then we'll end this portion of the conversation with Gary, and then we'll come back to Ashley, make sure she got her question answered. Let's go, Wanda.
Good morning, team. What I've been experiencing is not so much everybody trying to lowball. I just got pending over the weekend, and I actually had a multi-offer presentation to my seller, and we went pending 2 weeks into the market. And
Nice.
what we had was somebody came in at full price. Somebody did come in way below, way below. And then the other person came in at a decent, underneath the full price. It was about 25,000 below. So we just countered everybody at full price, all of our terms that we wanted. And only one stood, the one that had the highest price in the first place. And so they signed our counter with all of our terms. They didn't go back and forth. And we went in, so we went with them, and they even did their inspections on Sunday. I put everything on short terms, like, this has to be done in 5 days. This has to be done in 10 days. And so everything, I shortened all of the terms so we can get the contingencies removed early. And they went with everything. They even did their inspections on Sunday. On Sunday. And as we were doing the inspections, people are still trying to get in that house, I still have a backlog, more people that saying if it falls out, I'll pay cash for it. So I didn't find that. And another deal before that, I found a seller giving my buyer a huge discount, but this is a home that was over 1 million. We got in contract for 1,240,000. They were on the market for 1,398,000. Plus they paid me a commission, a 2.5 commission without even countering anything. So you kind of get a mix of both, but new buyers that I'm working with, they don't know anything. They're not actually doing that. They actually do what I say because they just know my record. When I'm working with people, I usually get the results that they expect. So they always tell me, you're in charge. So I haven't found that where people are trying to get me to represent them and they want to make, 50 to 75,000 below offers. I actually recommended it on the house that was over 1 million just because I comped it well and knew that that's what I could perform for them, and they didn't even count. So that's where.
Wow. Well said, Wanda. I definitely want to get more contributions from you on the call. I appreciate this, and I love, the direction. I love the sense of authority with your consumers. So well said. Let's go back over to Gary, and then we'll come right back over to Ashley. So Gary, what's your thoughts and contributions on the conversation?
I want to say it's area specific. Like literally, I want to say that me and Otis have been having some clients in the Valley, whether that's Antioch, Pittsburgh, Stockton area, and then San Francisco, Burlingame, San Bruno area. I want to say once you cross that bridge into the peninsula, things get really heated again. It's a lot of these .coms, a lot of these tech jobs are coming back. They're making people go to the office, and that market, I want to say the last 5 houses that I've had 3 different clients trying to put offers on, each one had over 7, 8 offers, all 10, 20% over asking on that side. And then if we want to talk the Valley, we're able to lock someone in where the seller's paying all the closing costs, all the stuff, like you still get all the concessions. But I want to say all the agents on here, I know I'm a new agent, so I'm not trying to talk from experience, just my little experience of talking with my clients so far. Because there's so much information out there at a client like fingertips, they're searching, they're looking, they're on Zillow, they're on Redfin, they're on ChatGPT. They think they're an agent. So they think they know what's going on. So they think it's almost like automatic. It's so much more important to remind them we're a full service agent. We're going to walk them through from the beginning to end, answer every question, help solve every problem. And when you're looking at something that has all the directions, you don't see the problems. You see the finish line. So we have to explain to them the problems they don't know that could arise. It's very important if they love a house for us to come in strong and quit trying to undercut everyone, because all of us sell houses too. We all sell houses. We all buy houses. It's up to we as agents could help control the market. Let's do our job too.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Appreciate your contribution. Let's go back over to Ashley. Ashley, my hope is that you got your question answered.
I did. Thank you so much for everyone's feedback. It sounds like there's just a very wide variance. It's always going to differentiate between city and house and everything. But right now it's like in some areas, you're going a couple $100,000 over asking still. And in other areas, you might get an offer accepted $20,000 under what they're asking. And so I think really what I'm hearing is that it's really important to stand in your power, let the client know, I have tools you can't get on Zillow. I have access to the MLS. You can't find that on Google. And I know what has sold in the last 6 months. And so my strategy is going to be the strategy that works. Please trust and rely on me. I'm here for you and your questions. Love that feedback. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Love it. Love it. So you guys, Christina, let's go over to you. You had a contribution. Your hand was up. Let's go to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, it was, as like Gary was mentioning on this topic of a lot of clients coming in and wanting to feel like they go on social media and they know everything. And Jess Bling and I had a buyer consultation last night. Supposed to only go about 40 minutes. It went almost an hour and a half because the client was just kind of, we kept trying to zone him in and he was all over the place because he wanted to, everybody wants a house hack. Everybody wants to buy out of state. They want to utilize being a first-time home buyer, but then they think, well, I can be a first-time home buyer and I could buy out of state. And I'm like, well, no, you work in California. So that it's just kind of, I'm seeing a lot of that. So I think that's been kind of a tricky thing is zoning people in to focus on, all right, what is your now plan for the next 3 to 5 years? And giving them a come to Jesus moment of let's look on your first home now. I love the bigger picture of what you want to do in creating a real estate portfolio. Totally down to help you. But let's start here because these investors that now have multiple properties, they didn't go out and in 3 years buy all these properties and became rich and wealthy. They started on baby steps. So that's one thing I just wanted to add is like I've had to, we've had to kind of reel some people back. And one of the last things was he goes, and he's looking to buy in the Bay Area. It's like, I can't wait for the market to crash. I'm just waiting for it. And I'm just like, oh man, like what? Get off your TikTok for a hot minute and just like, so that I just wanted to add that because when Gary said that, it's true. A lot of people think they know more than you know, which is fine. But we just have to be there to kind of bring them down and come back to reality.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you brought this up. And in some cases, unfortunately, the consumer might know more than you. And why? Because maybe they're reading more than you. Maybe they're studying more than you. Maybe they're entrenched in all the information and all the data. That's why we have conversations like this. This is why we have a market updates channel so you guys can be educated enough to have an opinion. You have a responsibility. As we put our stuff in a chat to get a download of what's happening, market conditions, nuances, patterns, and so on and so forth, the consumer's doing the same exact thing, but then your touch on how you're communicating, how you're negotiating, how you look at material facts, how you're going to write the offer, how you're going to structure the offer, and your interpersonal communication with your team and the community of real estate agents, they cannot learn that on ChatGPT. So my friends, if they know a lot of information about the market, good. They shouldn't know more than you. So I appreciate the conversation. Really, really good stuff. I want to pause for a quick second. Gary, your hand went up and then it went down again. Did you have anything else or are we moving on? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, bro.
Just real quick, I just about when the Feds dropped the rates yesterday on the, I don't know if like there was something where the rates were dropped on short-term loans. Like I just grabbed some information and there's some people that do mortgage on here. So I just want to ask them something that I'm kind of figuring out. So what they were saying is the government is switching their portfolio. Up until now, they doubled down on housing, right? They backed all the FHA loans and all that. Now they're switching their investment to T-bills. I think that's going to hurt them. The mortgage rates, I think they're going to go up in housing, even though the overall percentage rate goes down to borrow money, but that's on short term. So I don't know, maybe Jeff or one of these Stephanies or one of these other smart people on this call could help us.
Let's go, Jeff.
I can chime in. I mean, it is a interesting time with the Fed. And first, I mean, Gary, you're right, 100%. The Fed sets short-term interest rates. They don't set long-term rates. So that's why you see this volatility around the Fed announcements and actually mortgage rates go up in a lot of cases. And it's more about what the chairman says in his press conference. It's more about who voted for what. It's more about the communication for the next meeting, what's going to happen in the future, all those types of things. They do have some other tools, Gary, where they have a balance sheet. and they will buy certain securities, bonds, coupons, mortgage-backed security coupons. And what they're doing now is they're allowing that to those coupons that are coming due, they're maturing, they're allowing them to run off. So they're not repurchasing them. And they have done that, have been doing that for a while. And that causes mortgage rates to float up a little bit. It's going to compress the gap, the margin between short term and long term. But so it gets a little convoluted. The longer term interest rate environment is for continued decline, but nothing moves in a straight line. Of course, the shutdown throws a tremendous amount of uncertainty. We haven't gotten inflation reports for 6 weeks. We haven't gotten a jobs report for September, or we're not going to get one for October. So we have to rely on the Fed has to rely on other stuff. Of course, Jerome Powell, I'll just say, is probably in a little bit of a pissing match with Trump. So, if he can piss him off, I'm not saying that's it. He's a professional, but, he's not going to let Trump bully him into doing what he wants to do. So there's probably a little bit of that at play. So many different factors. The biggest thing for all of us is just the media coverage that it gets. And of course, the Fed lowering rates is what the headline is. You see lower rates, then that allows us to take advantage of the sentiment in the market, talk to people about it, explain to them what's happening, and just generate more interest. So even if when rates ticked up a little bit, once we saw that announcement come out and it was on the headlines on different the news, the different websites, different media outlets, that just caused people to start calling us and stuff. So yeah, there's different nuances and different tools that they're using. And right now in the short term, it has pushed mortgage rates back up a little bit. Even today, like Ashley had alluded to, the 10-year is back up to about 4.16. We were under 4 for a while there, but it's pushed back up almost a quarter point, 20 bips. So yeah, but honestly, a lot of that's just noise. Just keep talking, keep talking to everybody. It's still a great time to buy. And, the longer term trend is lower rates. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, but longer term trend is lower rates.
Really good stuff, Jeff. Ophelia, did you have an additional question? Or was that just an old hand?
No, I did.
Okay.
This could be for a later date, and you guys can answer this in the chat. But have you guys noticed more short sales being offered up? I think for the last 15 homes I've seen, I have 3 buyers. So out of those, from 600,000 down, I've seen about 5 short sales. So, and I don't know if that's more of a Solano thing. Now, I haven't done a deep dive, but just curious if anybody else in the Bay Area.
Anybody else
has one? Steph has one, and maybe Christina has one.
I have 2 actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so one's in LA and then one is here in Antioch.
It's a bit indicative, doesn't it? It's a little reminiscent to the beginnings of 06, 07, but I don't know.
I think
it was just interesting. Nobody's brought it up to me as a buyer or anything like that, but I could, anticipate it.
I've seen it myself. One of the deals I did in Martinez, the guy didn't want a short sale, but he paid $26,000 at closing to get out of it. And so what I've been seeing, even yesterday when I was searching houses, you could see which ones were sitting were the ones who bought in 2020, 2021, 2022. And the guy in Martinez bought in the worst time, fourth quarter of 2023. So he paid high and had a high rate too. So he was just trying to avoid short sale, but everybody else is listed and they're line in the sand, this is a price, and then you check the property profile and you see it's because their loan is at that price. And if I go lower, right now it's not a short sale, but if I bid lower, I have to get the bank's approval, and that's what they're all trying to avoid. So I think some of them, like Gary was saying earlier, it's really cracking down, get your ass back in the office. But I bought in 2021 out in freaking Sacramento or Vacaville, and I can't sell my house for what I bought it for then. And so, they're stuck. And like the guy that I was with, he had put money down, so he lost even more. But like the people who did FHA or 5% conventional back in 2021, 2022, there's no way they're selling, especially in the heart of the Bay Area where they were like 150, 200,000 over asking. Now you're getting what the original asking price was, and they're walking away from money lost.
Okay, thank you.
Really good conversation, really astute conversation. I appreciate everybody's vantage point. Thank you to our lenders and to our partners at the Money Store for always contributing and never asking for anything. I want to pause for a quick second because this is obviously important to me. My hope is that it's important to you. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen really quick. Can I get share screen rights? Can I get host rights again? Judith? All right, cool. Let's go. Judith, are you still here? All right, cool. I think there we are. Okay, cool. So a couple things really quick, a couple quick housekeeping things. If you have not signed up for business planning in either Stockton, Oakland, or Fairfield, please do so. Here is the link down below. We should have a really, really positive turnout. So make sure if you have not grabbed your tickets to this, you do so now. But let's just, let's go here for a quick moment, okay? So I dropped this video yesterday, and listen, I could see most of the people on the call today are team members. And I had to put this up for a moment, you guys, because as you can see, we are number one in the entire company for sales volume. Now, it is a really, really tight race. Now, number two, these are our homies. They're at 564 million. We're at 570. So you guys, it is a close race. But nothing would mean more to me for us to be able to take that number one spot. But there has to be a sentiment. There has to be a sentiment from now until the end of the year. And every single one of you, even if you have not got your first contract, what would that take for you guys to put your first contract over the finish line from now until the end of the year? You guys can hustle. You can find those opportunities as long as you stay in action. And here is my sentiment. Hold the fucking line. Hold the line. All right. We are so close to being number one, you guys. We have to hold. And the only way that we're going to hold is by us staying in action. So this is my thought. This is my sentiment to each and every one of you. It would feel absolutely incredible for us to cross the finish line at number one for 2025. Look at what you guys have done. Last week alone, our team produced 32 new escrows, a little shy of $21 million in new production for 1 week. We know with the education that you have, with the talent that you have, the tenacity that you have, the grit and the dog in each of you, I know that we can hold the line and we can end up number one for this entire company for 2025 and walk into 2026 with some true swag, some true bravado. So I wanted to share that with you because it's heavy on my mind, heavy on my heart. But how does it feel being number one, you guys? It feel damn good?
Absolutely.
I don't know about for you. Who was that? I don't know whose voice that was. Anybody want to tell me whose voice that was?
I feel like that might have been Gary, who's off mute for a second.
Okay. It feels absolutely amazing. Yeah, you're absolutely. Majority of people have over 40% of equity in their home. Yeah, you guys, there's some opportunities out there for all of us. So I have a framework and I created something that I haven't shared with anybody else. You guys are going to be the first to receive it. And I want to do it justice. And we have some few minutes left. So I'm going to go through some framework for you. I have a downloadable worksheet and workbook for each of you that is in alignment with manifestation, frequency, and energy. Now, what I don't cover today and what I'm not able to go in depth on today, we're going to cover on Friday. But I want to make sure to share this with you. You guys are getting the first glimpse. This is yours. And so I want to go here. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to pull up my screen really quick. And I want to encourage you guys to take the link once I'm done sharing. And I want you guys to go print this. And you guys are going to do some work from now and for the next 6 weeks. So this is a 6-week exercise to make sure that we are on the right frequency as we go into the new year. So once again, first to see this, you guys. And so present here. So what I've done is I've created a keep it moving frequencies of manifestation 6-week practice workbook. My hope is by you guys doing this work over the next 6 weeks, you're going to truly feel that you are on the right frequency. You are tracking your behaviors. You're aware of what is creating distortion in your life. You're aware of negative loops that you're constantly on. I'm not good enough. I'm not good on social, whatever that is. And so I'm going to take you through this document and this workbook. But once again, we'll go further into this on Friday. So week 1, that's going to symbolize this week right now, is first and foremost, you're going to awaken the signal. And this is your focus, awareness of your current frequency. So here's the daily practices. I want you to reflect. Where am I perfectly, manifesting what I don't want in this beautiful thing that we call life? Unfortunately, that happens to the best of us. So where am I perfectly manifesting what I don't want? Morning stillness, 5 minutes of awareness. When everyone is sleeping, when the house is quiet, you're sitting with your thoughts and you're sitting in true awareness. And then the evening check is I want you to rate your frequency. The frequency at 1 is a very low frequency, a very low vibration. And a 10 is feeling like you're truly aligned and you're at your optimal level. So here's the coaching flow questions for you. What patterns show up repeatedly in your business, health, or relationships? And these are patterns that are not serving you, but also look at the patterns that are serving you. I want you to write every single night. Where do you feel static or distortion in your daily life? Where do you feel a disconnect? Where are you feeling like you're white knuckling, where you're contriving things, where you're forcing things, where you're pushing things? I want you to ask yourself that. And then at the end of the week, I want you to go through this. Every single week, you're keeping an accurate log. On a scale from 1 to 10, what was my frequency today? What was the aligned action completed? Meaning that I was at a 10 today, so my aligned action was I went and knocked on 50 doors. I dropped 5 videos today. And then notes, reflections on how you feel and what your behaviors were and other conscious notes. Week 2 is clear the distortion, releasing energetic noise. So the daily practices, it's a signal dump journaling. Write out looping thoughts, fears, doubts, trepidations, the negative thoughts that are incoming. Breath work or walking meditation. If you don't know how to do breath work, it's okay. Walk in nature, drink your tea, sit in stillness, listen to the birds, right? Go outside, get some fresh air on your face and sit there and experience that for a moment. Notice who and what drains your energy. Consciously, you guys are going to make notes and you guys are going to journal. Some of you will and some of you won't, but that's on you. What distortion, trauma, drama, stories, belief keep repeating over and over and over again? What things from society or from your past or inherited beliefs keep on coming up that is creating distortion and are not allowing you to truly walk in your alignment? What are you holding on to that isn't yours to carry? Fuck, I love this one, you guys. What are you holding on to that is not yours to carry? Something that your family gave you, something that your dad gave you. You got picked last when you were in basketball in 11th grade and you're still carrying that with you, whatever it is. What are you holding on to that is not yours to carry? Once again, you have the worksheet to go through that week and make sure that you are checking your frequency, aligned action, and any reflection. So stay with me. Week 3 is going to represent your recalibration, daily micro alignment, morning scan. What frequency am I transmitting today? Right? Grounding ritual 3 times a day, clear, open, and aligned. You see, I'll tell you this time and time again, my friends, peak states do not just arrive. You have to demand it of yourself. At any given moment, I could stop And I could demand myself. I now demand my subconscious mind to direct me and help in as many people as I can by giving me the passion, the energy, the empathy to help as many people as I can right now, today. I could put myself in a peak state at any given time in any given place. This step 1 or step 2, this grounding ritual will help you get there. Evening gratitude, right? 3 energy aligned wins for the day. Here's the coaching flow. When during the day does your signal feel most clear, right? Is it when you're prospecting, when you're out on your walk, when you're with your kids, whatever it is? I just want you to journal this. And what practices restore you the fastest? When you feel like you're having a shitty day, or you feel like you're in the dumps, or you feel like you're negative thinking, what do you do to restore you quickly? What happens? What is the ritual? What is the pattern? Once again, you'll have your workbook here. Week 4, tune into your desired frequencies, embodying what you want, not chasing it. Here's the daily practice, the vision practice. Imagine your desired outcome as a vibration. Take 1 aligned action daily. An evening note, today I embodied this frequency. I embodied a frequency of abundance. I embodied a frequency of empathy, of caring, of action, of purpose, of whatever that is. Write that down. Here's the coaching flow. What desired state feels most natural to you? And how can you bring that frequency into action instead of waiting? Here's your workbook again. We go into 5, integration of signal and action, bringing energy into execution. Signal check before meetings, clarity or distortion. Do I feel clear? Am I walking in my purpose? What is my energy, or excuse me, what is my frequency that I'm on right now? Or do I feel muddled? Do I feel that there's distortion? Ask yourself these things. Track your 3 aligned actions per day, evening reset, meditation, or journaling. Here's your coaching flow. Where are you still forcing instead of flowing? And how do you know when you're reacting from clarity versus distortion? Once again, here's your workbook. And then last but not least, my friends, commitment with compassion, sustainability, and legacy. Morning affirmation. My signal creates my reality. I choose clarity. Weekly ritual, 1 hour of recalibration, integration, notice missteps without judgment. How has your signal shifted in the past 6 weeks? What practices will you carry forward carry forward permanently? And how does your aligned frequency change how you lead, sell, or create in this beautiful thing that we call life? You guys, this is an exercise and this is a workbook that we're going to do over the course of the next 6 weeks. Now, some of you will, some of you will not. But I want to encourage you guys to print this out. I'm going to put it in the chat down below. I want this to be something that you guys are doing with me. That way, as a group, we're all moving towards a new direction. Frequency, vibration, energy, aligned focus, and aligned actions. That way, when you walk into 2026, you guys, you're fucking so clear. So clear. Your frequency, the vibration. When I see you, man, your vibration feels different, Mara. Something about you feels different, Evelyn. Man, Mama San, you are on fire right now. Feel that vibe from you. So think of this as your complete vibe check, you guys, to make sure that you're in alignment from now until the end of the year, to make sure that you walk into 2026 feeling really, really good about the frequency you're on. It's a lot. We're going to be going more into that, but I promise you I would share that with you. So let's go around the room, get a couple key thoughts, key takeaways before we wrap session. Let's go to TT. TT, give me one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together, and then we'll go up to Blessing. Blessing, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me out this morning. And thank you, Mara, for bringing us out on the field. TT, key thought, key takeaway from our time together today. Let's go, big dog.
Sure. So truly the frequency hit my heart a lot because life happens in the background and we need to kind of balance everything out. So I really like this workbook that you put together and I'm excited to participate and check my frequency as it relates to personal and business life.
You guys are going to write and you guys are going to you're going to start to, God, this is the frequency I'm on. And then what am I thinking about? Man, why am I so distorted? Where did that come from? And I just want you guys to reflect. So we walk into 2026 feeling a sense of really being fresh for the new year. So good stuff, TT. Let's go, Blessing. Blessing, take us home on the conversation today, big dog. Key thoughts and key takeaways.
You know, there's at one point in the call, I was like, I love being in this room all the time because just learning and hearing from everyone else, you know, there's always that exchange and it's always free flowing. So Wanda, it was so good to hear like your take on the market. And I always pick up different pieces of what I can do to enhance my business. But thinking about the workbook, you did give me a sneak peek on it, and it kind of started a catalyst for me, is that this isn't just about real estate and showing up as the best realtor and holding the line and being number one. It really is about being your best self, the best version of you, no matter what you decide to do. You may decide that your goal is to be the top person in this industry. It could just be to be a better mom. Whatever it is, like there's always a takeaway that you can get from here that will just enhance, but you have to do the work. There's no way to just sit in the room and absorb it. Osmosis is great for plants, but that's not us. We actually have to do the work. And that sometimes is the biggest takeaway, is that you just have to do the work. You're not going to die. Promise. Just do the work.
Blessing, man, I love you. I appreciate you. About this whole number one thing, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, am I a walking embodiment of being number one? I asked myself that. Are my actions supporting me holding the trophy of being number one? And I'm saying yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My wife's like, go, babe, you got this. Like, she's encouraging me. And so it's like, you guys, whatever it is, if you want to be the best father, the best mother, the best friend, are you a walking embodiment of that? A walking embodiment of that. So you guys, I'm excited to do this workbook for you. Thank you to Roma and Ria for helping me create this. They take all these things and they put it into these beautiful, final products for me. So you guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your contributions at a very, very high level. If you have not RSVP'd for business planning, do so. I'll see you guys on Friday. But if you need anything, feel free to reach out. And as always, my friends, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that truly matters. Peace.